Hello, beautiful people. Second to the last episode of the season. This season 9, of course, season 9. I'm confident season 9. I'm going to say it until that's true. I put it in every week and I always forget. But yes, of course, season 9, episode probably like 20. Zach Bruner, Jake Osmond. We are here doing the annual show where we give our Super Bowl picks. And this time, like last year, there's another show after the Super Bowl, so we can revisit. Even though, like we said before, kind of funny that when we ghosted. So never know. Maybe the funny factor will outweigh it, but most likely next weekend or next week will be the season finale. We'll recap all of the Super Bowl hijinks, all of the craziness that ensues. But today, we're giving our live predictions. So if you're watching live, definitely jump in the chat and let us know. If you're not watching live, listening, watching after the fact, a lot of times Monday night around 5:30 Central, we are live on the FlurrySports YouTube, on Twitter, on TikTok. I haven't even looked. I think since we're not on a vertical video, it probably is a terrible watching experience over there. But if you're on TikTok, go let me know. Go comment. Let me know if we're live on TikTok. I've never even checked, to be completely honest. But Jake, how's it going? Post Rumble, pre Super Bowl. What a time. What a time for us personally.
What a time for us personally. For those who don't know, I work at a college as my part-time real life job. So I was there this weekend with a group of students for a conference. We went to Iowa.
Ooh, big city.
Big city. So we were there. It was my first ever experience. I was like, no spoilers. I didn't watch anything Rumble all weekend. I'm not going to lie, Zach. I did tell you this on purpose because I knew it was funny. Someone that night, I was there presenting until 10:30 p.m. Someone at the thing went, "Oh my God." And I was like, "Oh, what's going on?" And they were like, "We're watching this Royal Rumble thing." I was like, "Get the fuck out. Get out right now."
Get out of here.
Iowa State. I'm so sorry. But I was like, not now, not at my place of work. I didn't even tell them I was like a fan. I was like, "Hey, I'm not getting spoilers. Don't say anything." Not even ironically. Leave.
I mean, makes sense. A lot of people in Iowa were watching. I thought there was a chance, and maybe true, but it was in Indy. I thought there was a chance we saw a Caitlin Clark appearance.
Caitlin Clark. Can't believe Pat wasn't in the match. Honestly, stunned in hindsight.
Or Halliburton.
Yeah, true.
To be honest, not that I wanted to see that, but I'm just surprised he wasn't.
Yeah. Hey, you can only have so many stars on the card. So when Nikki Bella is going to be there, I mean,
it's a good point. I show speed. Otis's friend, who, I mean, what a bad way to go out. Didn't even make it down the ramp. But sacrifice for the greater good, I would say.
Hit decently hard in the side of the head. Out forever.
Knocked out.
Destroyed.
Week to week for sure.
If you want more Rumble commentary, you're going to have to stick around to the end of the show. But first, Zach, I'm doing great. I am, and I was thinking about this last week. I am now softly thrilled. That'd be a good name of the episode. I'm softly thrilled about this Super Bowl.
Okay, that's not bad. I think you're further ahead than a lot of people.
Yeah. Here's how I feel this way. I'm far enough away from the other options we had. This is a good matchup. We said this last week. It's a great matchup. I also think as people are coming around to it, here's what I did not buy a week ago. One, frick all the people who were like, I've seen so many things that were like dissing all the reasons they didn't like this Super Bowl. And anyone who posted that, but included, and Kendrick's the halftime performance, fuck you. I can't wait. He's going to be so good. He got the whole Grammys to call Drake a pedophile.
That's so funny.
It's going to be great. By the way, it totally changed my opinion. I was like, he's not going to play that at the Super Bowl. I saw him do it at the Grammys. I'm like, he's going to do it wherever he wants. He might do it at Disney World after the Super Bowl.
Yes. Also, I mean, a lot of people upset. People aren't upset that Kendrick is the halftime. I don't think. I think they're upset Wayne is not. Supposedly, Wayne turned it down.
Yeah, it's just interesting because Kendrick mentions him in Whacked Out Murals, kind of takes like a subliminal shot. Everyone said it was about Wayne, but And he names Wayne, but it's not like that direct. But in any case, he also named Snoop because he was like, Snoop, why are you listening to Drake on Twitter? But which is a great question. And Snoop was like, I was high. Good excuse.
That is a great excuse.
Really good excuse.
You get a pass.
That's right.
No Snoop at the Rumble, by the way. That was also a shocker to me.
Well, he's booked. He's at Mania.
Okay.
He's there.
Great.
Yeah. But this is what I'm gonna say. I think it's not true. The people who are like, I just don't want to root for either of these teams. That's not true. That's not true. It's not. You either are a masochist like Zach and you're rooting for the Chiefs, or you're everybody else and you're rooting for the Eagles. It's not.
Right, yeah.
It's not a hard choice. One of them is more babyface. Don't give the Eagles fans what they want.
Correct.
They want you to hate them.
Mm-hmm. That's true. They want the I told you so. Correct. If you're on their side, they don't know what to do.
So Travis can come out and he does his old hungry dogs gotta eat. I'm not missing breakfast. My favorite part of that speech he gave.
I mean, Travis is saying a lot of things. I'm wondering if he's going to stick with the same song or if he's going to switch it up for his MVP speech. We'll get into that later.
Did you see him and Jason tossing around Believe by Cher?
No.
They talked about it, and Jason was like, "Oh," Travis brought it up, and Jason's like, "Oh my god, I love that song." And you could Travis was thinking about it because it's definitely in the contention for one of his speech songs. Yeah.
I mean, if they go for 3, that's the one for 4. Run it back.
Kansas City, I got a question for you. Do you believe?
That would hit. That would be incredible.
I'm electric. Thanks, Randy. Thank you for everybody in the chat. But my question to you, Zach, is will this be a good game?
I think so. I think this has a chance to be one of the best. Last year was so incredible, obviously. Overtime. Don't usually see that.
Correct.
But, I mean, it's a 1.5 point spread. Both of these teams play incredible defense, possibly the 2 best defensive coordinators in the league. Both offenses are stacked. They're just well coached across the board. So I think it's probably, I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be within a 3-point game. I think the spread's pretty accurate.
Yeah. I think the Chiefs play everybody close this year.
Correct.
So it would be very them to blow someone out for the first time. And it's the Eagles. But I don't see it going that way. I think this is a close game. I also think like both teams are going to want to control the clock. And I feel like we could get a pretty tight one. I think it's going to be really good. Honestly, God, do I want to wish this into existence? If you told me one of these teams wins by 20, I don't know if I would say it's the Chiefs.
It's definitely not the Chiefs if somehow there's a blowout. You're correct. I just don't see.
It's not a blowout. Yeah.
It's not like I don't know how many plays of over 20 yards we're going to see.
Yeah. I wonder when is the last game Saquon hasn't had one over 20? Honestly. Like, is it back to
Here's
how far
the
into the regular season?
Saquon, I think his rushing prop might be at like 122 or something. Like he just continues to destroy. Chiefs, I don't think, have given up a 100-yard rusher since like in the playoffs since like 2020. Like it's been forever. So that's the thing. If they stop Saquon, then we'll see how hurt Jalen Hurts is.
Yeah.
Because he has that knee thing. So we'll see if he's hurt. If he's not hurt, we'll see if they can make a big play. We'll see if Kellen Moore's all over himself. Like, we'll put pressure on him. And then the Chiefs, like, I mean, it's every year, but every single year since Tyreek Hill's not been there, it's been this offense isn't what it used to be. Can they put up big points? Oh, now they're a run first team. That's not any good. You know who's been suspiciously quiet is Isaiah Pacheco.
Yeah.
Like he got hurt, came back, and still hasn't done anything. Feels like he has a huge play in this game. So it's going to be really good. And Chiefs are going to pull out some bullshit. So that'll be fun to watch for.
So that's my question is when the Lions do it, we're all like, this is the inevitable piano that's going to fall on your head.
Yeah.
And I'm a little like, how many round the Rosies do we do before?
They've done that once, but I would love for them to bring it back.
But you know what I'm saying? Like Josh Allen goes for pitches in every game and we're like, he's going to fumble this shit. I am wondering like eventually that does catch up with the Chiefs.
Well, you know what it would be? It would be the Kelsey throwing it after he caught it.
That actually did happen to them. That actually has happened to them. Yeah.
But like he's gonna throw it straight into the hands of Darius Slay or something.
Yeah. Cooper. DeJean.
Don't let that boy get the ball in his hands because White lightning. Yeah, exactly. That's everyone calls him that. You were just in Iowa. You heard it.
That's what I said there. By the way, not gonna lie, several Cooper DeJean jerseys. Big fans.
Of course. There. Yeah, they're Sunday best.
Oh, you know Coop? No, but I wish. It feels like we do.
True. Big French population there with all the DeJeans. Lot in the chat. Thank you. If you have any Super Bowl predictions, Randy, let us know. I've been pitching. We need to have other games streaming on Twitch.
Yeah.
And I said Jake and I might play some WWE at some point. So that's what Randy's asking. When are we going to do that?
I will do it. My one pitch is I would prefer to do GM mode. I know it has been done other places, but it's my preferred mode.
I haven't played enough of the game. So if we're playing it, you're taking the lead on this. I don't know. I'm not good. I don't know what's going on. If we play Here Comes the Pain, shout out 2000, what was it? 5, PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
First game with the Elimination Chamber in it. Thank you very much. I'll whip your ass in that. But for this one, I don't know. I spam the light attack, whatever that is.
I know. I do the same grapples over and over. The matches themselves are okay. I think the GM mode is electric. I think most people who played the game agree. In fact, I played it so much that Claire said, "Do you ever actually wrestle this game?" I said I could.
If I want to, I don't know, but I have a trick shoulder. It's not really working.
The same way, it's like you play Madden enough. I don't do anything but GM mode.
Sure. I get it. And by the way, you watch wrestling all the time. I watch wrestling a lot. I don't want to get in the ring. So you know what I mean? I don't need to take a broad breaker spear. I get it.
Like, here's what WWE does. In their 2-game games, I'm either in there and it's not fun. I'm like kicking ass. It's not close. I make it a little closer. I can't win. I just want to win a close one. Is that too hard to ask for?
It is. It turns out it is.
Make my guy 99 overall, no sweat. Make my guy 82 overall, he loses all the time.
Can I make Otis 99 overall?
You could. You can do. That was my favorite part of this one. You could do story modes with the people on the roster. You could take Otis to the top.
Okay.
Which, by the way, I can't believe Jey Uso got his moment in the sun before Otis did. But we can correct that.
So close.
I know. So close.
Who even was it who grabbed his leg during the worm? What a fucking loser.
Chad, his rival. Do you know who eliminated Otis?
It was. I don't remember.
I Show Speed.
Did he?
Yeah, he and someone else, but I Show Speed did it because then when he got buried on the outside, Otis threw him over his head.
I saw that.
Yeah,
I guess I don't remember Otis leaving the ring, to be honest. I kind of blacked out after. Fuck. Well, WrestleMania feud right there. 1-on-1.
All right, Super Bowl. We've got wrestling on the brain, but thank you, Randy.
We'll talk Rumble in a little bit, but let's make some Super Bowl picks here. Because big game, Super Bowl 59, got Chiefs versus Eagles. Everyone is tuning into the show asking us, like, what should I put my money on?
We've got
Zach, Jake, what is going on? Maybe they went to FlurrySports.org and printed out the free printable prop sheet to take to their Super Bowl party and do a little contest there. Maybe they're doing, and they need to know who to pick. So, might as well do it here. And let's start, Jake. And by the way, subject to change our picks. How about that?
It's so real.
You can go to FlurrySports.org. I'm going to have an article out with all of our picks. So Jake's picks, my picks, and potentially picks from the I Don't Think So podcast, which I think everybody is waiting to hear. But let's start out hot. Let's start out with the spread. It's essentially a pick 'em. Chiefs are favored by 1.5 points. So who do you think is going to cover the spread? Chiefs 1.5, Eagles plus 1.5. So do the Eagles lose by 1 or fewer, or do the Chiefs win by 2 or more, Jake?
I actually, first off, I'm just going to say concrete feet on this, baby. I'm not changing my picks. I don't have, this is where I'm going to invest. The people will know my thoughts. And if I change my mind on Sunday, I'll do what everyone does and tweet it out after the outcome.
Of course. There's a delay on the tweet. Whoops. Lost internet connection.
What are you going to do? Musk got me,
Yeah. Yeah. He's been getting a lot of people.
Government's too efficient now. My tweet to get out on time. But in any case, I like that. That's a good joke. Any case, I'm taking the points because I honestly think I'm picking the Eagles. I think they will win outright. It feels so dumb to pick against the Chiefs, but I just do think that it's like at their peak this season, the Eagles win. I also sincerely think there's a real world where it's like if Chiefs win, they win by 1. I feel like that's also fitting, like a very close screw 'em. Or maybe it's only 3 or whatever, but I don't know. I know 1.5's not a lot, but I could see the Chiefs only winning by 1, and I like the Eagles. So give me the Eagles and the points.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say it again. I think the Eagles are the more talented team. I think they're the most talented team in the league. I hate coaches who are like playing for something and then they know they're going to take a job. For whatever, like there's always a conflict of interest. They always lose. So Kellen Moore is going to be the new New Orleans Saints head coach. We know that's going to happen. And he's already thinking, I have to drop plays for Derek Carr. I can't wait. Derek Carr is the man. He loves Derek Carr, I assume. I don't know. Kellen Moore feels like a guy who would like Derek Carr. So, I mean, I got to go Chiefs. We're going to see the first three-peat. It's going to be
that feels right.
Taylor Swift all over the screen. Everyone's going to be ecstatic. And then the question is going to be, does Travis Kelce retire?
Do you think what's the percentage of the NFL that goes, we're kind of rooting the Eagles win so that people get off our backs on the freaking ref thing?
There's a part for sure. I mean, they're just hoping for a clean game, I think.
Yeah.
Like, there's going to be excuses one way or another, but it is getting loud with the whole potential rigging thing.
By the way, with the whole there was like several comments on it in the Rumble. That's why it was front of mind. I'm like, we're making WWE commentary references now on the refs.
However, and it's going to change this week when more big money bets come in.
Yeah.
But Eagles are underdogs, and everyone's saying the NFL's rigged in favor of the Chiefs. But at least as of a couple days ago, 80% of the money bet so far has been on the Philadelphia Eagles. So if you are that upset, put your money where your mouth is. Like bet on the Chiefs if you think it's rigged.
That's so true. I feel like it's the storyline element of it, right? Which is also like, no matter where you're at on the whole rigging thing, maybe you are passionately like, these refs are out to support the Chiefs in some way. There's a benefit from supporting them. I don't necessarily think that's baseless. Like, I get that, like, they see the same calls over and over. If that is where you're at and the Chiefs lose, you're an idiot. If you're like, oh, I guess I was wrong. If you believe that now, stick to your guns. I was thinking about that earlier today. People are like, well, I hope the Chiefs lose so I know the NFL's not rigged. That is some control fallacy. These people pulling the strings all the time. I guess we got them. We got mad enough about it that they stopped. Or they're just going to call in favor of the like more consistent good teams, as they do in any sport.
I mean, if the Chiefs lose, it's not going to be because the NFL didn't rig it. It's because Tom Brady rigged it to help keep his record safe. Because he's going to be on the call. Yeah. He's going to pull some strings. And he's going to make sure Mahomes doesn't get that Super Bowl.
Yeah. No one is rooting. Tom Brady, if it's a first half blowout, is going to be unbearable. How many times will we have to hear him mention 28-3?
It's going to be gross.
So, for the love of God, keep it close. Yeah. So, they used that one on us. Oh, he sucks. Anyway, but
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a good game. Our next prop bet, I believe, is going to be over under.
Yes, over under 48.5 points. So do you think they score 49 or more, or 48 or less?
I would guess
combined?
most of the money is on under. And I'm going to ride with that, even if that is incorrect, and maybe it is more even than I think it is. I think while both of these teams, especially the Eagles, can put up a lot of points, I just think it's going to be a game of ball control, and it would behoove the Eagles to run the ball a lot. We'll see if they actually do that. But if they do that, Kansas City has liked low-scoring games of late. I could see it being like 23-20, but still comes in the under. So I'm going that route.
Yeah, I'm on the under too. It's been pretty consistent over the past, I think, like 5 or 7 Super Bowls. It's been the under. And to your point, I think both teams want to run the football. It's not just the Eagles. I think both teams
Great
want
point.
to.
Yeah.
Both offenses are loaded, so the best way to stop them is to make sure they're not on the field. And both defensive coordinators, like, they're known for what they do with their secondary, just different blitzes, different coverages. They throw different things. It's super confusing. And just make sure they get taken out of the game. Just run the football, and then they can't run those stupid blitzes.
Well, correct. And against both of these teams, you don't want to get in 3rd and 4th and longs. So if you run consistently, you get 3 yards a pop. You make it so that especially the Chiefs can't send the freaking house every time. I think
the Chiefs especially too. Like, it's no secret the Chiefs' offensive line is the worst one in this game.
Yeah,
and they've had plenty of issues all season long. If they can run the football and slow down the Eagles' pass rush, that's the only way they're going to win this game. If the Eagles can just pin their ears back and run, it's the Chiefs' offensive line is going to get eaten alive. Joe Tooney is a Hall of Famer at guard. He's so good, but he has to play left tackle right now for them to have any chance, and he's just going to get beat. Like, he will get beat in this game at some point, and that could be the difference. It could be a strip sack and the Eagles, steal a possession, or, the opposite could happen. So never know.
That would be
I also think under.
If you're looking for a fun prop bet for me, that's like football based. I do think I wonder what the line is on turnovers, but I think the Eagles are going to get a turnover for sure. Doesn't mean they're going to win, but I'm more confident about the turnover right now for them. I think that's their game, and like you said, the Chiefs even had turnover troubles last week, so I think that's going to happen again.
Yeah, that's completely fair. Let's do coin toss. So pretty easy. Heads, tails. I think last year was the first time the Chiefs went heads and won. Otherwise, it's been tails every time in the past. And I think the Eagles always go heads, but I'm going tails. I feel like every year I'm like, okay, next year I'm going to go heads, and every single time I go tails. So I'm going to go tails.
I think we have remained consistent on this. I think you always go tails. I always go heads. And some year I'm going to catch up to you. It was a big year for me last year.
Yeah, and potentially the year before. I think they went tails the year before that, but I don't know.
I think we were coming off a streak of tails.
Okay. That would make sense. Now, Super Bowl MVP. So, kind of depends on who you think is going to win. If you're leaning Eagles, top 2, Saquon's got a better odds to win it than Jalen Hurts, according to the sports books. But then I think in terms of Eagles, it's Saquon, Hurts, AJ Brown, probably Devontae Smith or Dallas Goedert, and then defensive guys. So who do you think is going to be the MVP?
I'm going to stick with my Eagles pick, and I do honestly think that it's like, I think often there's storylines going in that influence MVP wins. I think that favors Saquon. Even if Hurts, I think it would take more than just QB sneak TDs to give it to Hurts, from my perception. If Saquon performs as good as he can, has a touchdown or two, isn't like, if he has the same amount of touchdowns or more touchdowns than Jalen, I think he wins it. Unless Jalen has a great game throwing. I just think they're hesitant to give that accolade to him in the same way. So that said, it's Barkley's year. If he wins it, I mean, I think rightfully so. It's a great story. Give it to a running back. He'd be the one to give it to.
When is the NFL honors? That has to be this week, right?
Yeah.
So wouldn't that make sense where Lamar gets MVP, Josh Allen gets Offensive Player of the Year, and then it's just shaping up perfectly for Saquon to get Super Bowl MVP? That feels so that that feels very likely to me. That feels pretty good. Still, I think the Chiefs are going to win. I can't imagine they give it to Saquon in a year if he loses the game. Last year, I thought Leo Chanel should have won Super Bowl MVP, and they gave it to Mahomes anyway. And I like maybe they give it to Kelsey, but if the Chiefs win, it's Kelsey or Mahomes, and it's most likely Mahomes. So it's such a boring pick, but I have to go with Mahomes.
Is this Thursday? And I think the Chiefs win, they give it to Mahomes, especially with it being the three-peat.
Yeah.
Or it's Travis and he retires.
Right. That's the only other scenario. Like if Mahomes passes for 250 and a touchdown, the touchdown came in the fourth quarter, and for some reason, like Pacheco had 100 yards and 2 touchdowns or something, like I feel like it's still Mahomes.
I agree, because he'll get credit. Again, I think he gets different credit there than Jalen does, and maybe rightfully so. But yeah, I agree. If I had to go for a defensive player, Chanel's not a bad bet. I think he's a game wrecker.
He is. He's last year he blocked the field goal and he had the strip on the very first possession. He's blocked a field goal already a few weeks ago. But he's sneaky. He's not a starter on defense, but he's a gamer and a fucking Badger. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, Grantsburg's finest.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Zach Bond for the Eagles, though, too. If there's a defensive guy in the Eagles, of course, Cooper DeJean. But Zach Bond is another Badger. He's been insane this year.
DeJean. Yeah, they've been good. Is Darius Slay playing?
He should. I think he will.
He could be one because he could just be a random. He gets 2 picks or whatever. But yeah, those would be some fun bets if you want them. Is it Gatorade next? Is that what we got?
We got first touchdown and then Gatorade. So who do you think scores the first touchdown in the game?
Okay. I, for this, am going antithesis to my MVP pick. I think this is a fun because the Chiefs are so random on who could score. I'm going to go with a percentage chance on Eagles, and the percentages tell you pick Hurts. So I'm going to go Hurts on a QB sneak or whatever to get in. There's different ways he could do it, but when you're trying to predict one play that could happen, the Eagles doing a tush push in is likely to happen at some point anyway.
That is for sure. I'm trying to find the odds for this just because I think it's interesting. I have anytime touchdown. Where is first touchdown? I'll get that in a second, I guess. But yeah, I think that's really smart, especially if it's going to be like a methodical drive. Like how many times has Saquon been tackled at the 1 yard line this year?
Yeah.
It's been just sort of gross. Why can't I find it? Why is FanDuel Sportsbook not? They're just refusing. Okay, there we go. I got it. So Jalen Hurts, it would be plus 600. So he actually has the second best odds. Saquon's number 1. So if you put $10 on it, you win $60. Not too bad.
It's just the odds of the Eagles are better. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. The odds for first touchdown, it goes Saquon, Hurts, Kelsey, Kareem Hunt, Xavier Worthy, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Marquise Brown. I'm going to go with Xavier Worthy. They've been using him so much.
He feels like a point of emphasis. I agree. He would have been the one I took on the Chiefs. They like to feature guys like that, so I think it's either Worthy or Hunt.
I agree. Otherwise, it's going to be some stupid like Justin Watson or Noah Gray, which
true.
It just feels gross every time that happens. We could. It's
Lane Johnson.
If you. I would love that. I would lose my mind. I'll be full on the Eagles if that happens. If you are like a degenerate betting the Super Bowl, you're betting a bunch of stuff. I'm telling you, put an anytime touchdown on Noah Gray. I don't hate putting a 2 touchdown scorer on Noah Gray. He's had a few games like that this year. He had like you can beat the Eagles with the tight end, and teams very smartly are, keying on Travis Kelce. It would not surprise me to see Noah Gray find the end zone, and if he does it twice, you're going to get stupid money. I can tell you what it would be. But
if you were looking for a flyer on that one, the fact that AJ Brown's name is so far down, the odds is a great. Throw $10 on AJ Brown and see what happens. I mean,
for sure. If you are just finding random dart throws for a bet, Noah Gray to score 2 touchdowns, if you put $10 on it, you would win 800.
So, why not? That's free money. Why not? Zach just made you $790.
Clip it. If this hits for you, send me $10.
Buy me a coffee. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, buy a girl a drink. Yeah,
for sure. Finally, Jake, the one that everyone's been waiting for, and I have legit trends for this one. So it feels like it's between 2 colors, but both teams can be assholes. So which Gatorade color is going to be dumped on the winning coach? Now, I just exited out of everything. Where? Oh no, Jake, am I still live with you? Okay, I'm here. I'm here.
Sorry. Still live. You're back.
What did I do? Okay, so the Chiefs back-to-back years have gone purple, and obviously they're going for a 3-peat. Why would they rock the boat? In my opinion, like I feel like they would follow it up with purple again. So that is the thing with the Chiefs. Before that, when they won the Super Bowl, though, a few years ago, it was orange. So that's also in the back of mind. But they've gone purple back-to-back years. They're going for a 3-peat. Why not go 3-peat with the purple? The Eagles, when they beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl a few years ago, they went yellow. They feel like an old school franchise. Like we want to go down the line. We're going to go with the OG. Also, they dumped Gatorade on Sirianni after the NFC Championship this year. That was also yellow. So there's a strong chance it's either going to be yellow if the Eagles win, purple if the Chiefs win. The odds reflect this. So purple is the odds favorite at plus 100. Yellow is number 2 at plus 200. But then there's a massive jump to blue, orange, red, water, which is never a good bet. Never bet that.
Yeah.
And then nothing is plus 2,000, which is also a terrible bet. So what is your pick for Gatorade?
I have stuck with my guns on this one. Go Cats. I'm sticking purple. I think you hedge your bets. So you bet on the Eagles. You bet on purple Gatorade. Get them both. I also think there's a world where it's like the Eagles feel more random, because that's not Sirianni's Eagles with the yellow Gatorade, so they might also enjoy a purple. They
had yellow last week, though, or 2 weeks ago.
Mind games. You're purple Gatorade, we're purple Gatorade. It's also the best Gatorade.
It is. That's the thing. I could also see if you're feeding into Sirianni just trying to play mind games and stuff, like, let's go red. We're going to eat them this week. Like, they are ours. The issue with that is red Gatorade the worst one?
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, I have the past 25.
I looked it up too. I do too. We have to talk about the 5-year spread in 2005. We have to.
Oh, clear? Is that true?
Yeah. So 2001, yellow, Ravens. Patriots in 2002, none. Which psycho. Patriots win is a none, which they did that a bunch. That's sucky to see over their dynasty. Yeah. That tarnishes their legacy for me.
Yeah, for sure.
Buccaneers, purple.
Correct. Yep.
Patriots,
that's the first purple.
That's the first purple. Patriots, none again in 2004. Patriots in 2005, they change it up. Clear.
Water? Bill's not happy.
2005 through 2008, we have a clear for 4 Super Bowls in a row. Patriots, Steelers, Colts, Giants. Clear, 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 clear.
Do we think they had a Gatorade, but then they had an extra tub for dumping afterwards and it was just water?
I'd be so interested when this became a popular bet. I bet it was after this timeline. That it's like, it makes sense to me when teams, of course, there'd be some teams who it's like, we're more of a water team. And then I feel like at some point this became a bet, and it was like, you have to have Gatorade.
True. I mean, big sponsor for sure.
Yeah, and just not to frick with people. Like,
unless Gatorade just came out with their own water. They could spin it and be like, oh, we got a whole tub of Gatorade water.
Clear. That's crazy. So 2009, the Steelers go to yellow. Then we have the Saints and the Packers with 2 oranges in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have our second purple in 2012. So purple is going to make a little bit more of a resurgence. Yep. The Ravens, none. They don't do any in 2013. John Harbaugh hates fun.
We almost thought last year was none, but then because they didn't show it on air, but then we found something later on, like, oh, Andy Reid got the purple.
Oh, yeah, and everyone was like, does that count as a none? Because they didn't show it. Yeah.
Right.
Seahawks, orange.
Yep. And by the way, it didn't count as a none for the people potentially wanting to bet that.
Correct. Patriots, blue in 2015.
Bill was happier that year, yeah.
Well, just wait. Broncos, orange.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. Team colors. Great.
Yep.
Patriots, 2017. None.
Not doing that shit again, said Bill. That was enough.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Eagles, 2018, yellow is mentioned. Patriots in 2019, blue.
Okay, you know what? The boys had a good year.
Yeah.
Have some Gatorade.
Chiefs do orange in 2020.
Yep.
Buccaneers with Tom. He must like blue Gatorade. Back to blue.
He must. Yeah.
Rams do blue. And then, of course, our 2 past purple. So by percentage, over that 20-year span, we've got orange with 20.8%.
Mm-hmm.
Clear / water with 16.7%. None with 16.7%. Blue with 16.7%. And purple. So clear, none, blue, and purple have all happened 4 times. Orange has happened 5. Yellow has been 3. None. Zilch for red or pink.
So
it would be a better bet to bet none than it would be to bet red.
It is. It's for sure a better bet. You get better odds and it's more likely. But I don't know, man. Like, it feels like it's purple or yellow. I could be wrong. Who knows? God, I don't know.
Hold on. Lastly, on this point, I just need to put this Patriots. So during that time span, they won what? 6 Super Bowls? Is that correct?
Yeah.
Must be. Okay. So 6 Super Bowls. They have Bill sucks. He's awesome, but he sucks. During that span, the Patriots have none twice. Blue twice, and clear
twice.
And he alternated on the blues and the clears. I think he knows.
There's something. He doesn't do anything without reason. There was some Ernie told him, like, hey, this is what the team needs this week.
There's enough pattern there. Maybe it's based on, like, who was his white wide receiver of the time? Welker liked none.
Also, I think there's enough evidence that we can say Tom likes blue Gatorade. I think there's enough to say that. So,
we can. You know who we can say loves blue Gatorade? When was their first blue Gatorade? Their first blue Gatorade.
It's Gronk.
Gronk loves blue Gatorade.
Okay, you're right. Gronk loves blue Gatorade. So he gives them a taste of blue Gatorade in the Super Bowl. He's like, yes, let's go. But then the next year, we got to make Gronk angry. No Gatorade for you today. Done.
That's right.
So yeah, you got to keep him on his toes. That's what they were doing.
They let Teddy pick the next one.
That's right. That's true. Right.
Broski.
God, that is fascinating. One of my favorite things of the Super Bowl every single year are the game day insiders on Gatorade. Like, I have an anonymous source that Mahomes is feeling orangey today. And I feel like that would be my dream. I don't want to be an insider. I don't want to be stuff like that. I understand I've done some news before. If I could be the insider for Gatorade color, come around once a year, and just that's my thing, I would love that. That would be incredible.
Oh, it would be. Do we have any other props on your sheet to cover?
Nope, that is it.
I've got 3 halftime props for you. All right.
Okay. Okay.
The big one. What's the first song Kendrick plays?
It's got to be Not Like Us, right? Come Out Hot.
Because his other biggest hits he played last time, I think so. I'm trying to think if there's an LA one he could come out to, but he did all right last time. He could come out to no, he's coming out to the Not Like Us horn.
It's got to be the I See Dead People. That's how it starts.
That's got to be how it starts. I think that's heavy, good favorite. If you were going to do I guess a surprise pick, he could come out to Yelling Mustard and just go to TV off. Or just actually, this is a better, like, if you're not going to pick Not Like Us, maybe he just goes down the GNX album. He starts with Whacked Out Murals.
That's possible.
It'd be the only, like, if you weren't going to bet Not Like Us. So my other ones are Not Like Us related, which is, and I know you answered this one. Does he play Not Like Us?
At least once. Yep.
How many times does he play Not Like Us? And I will say any part of Not Like Us. But it's like if it's a part and then he comes back to it, that's twice.
You know what? I think it's going to be at least twice. I think there's a way to, Drake's going to be on edge to start. And he's going to be like, okay, fine, that song's done. And then they bring back a minor in the middle of something. You know what I mean?
I think if the over-under was 1.5, I'm taking the over.
I think so too.
I think if the over-under is 2.5, I do take the under. I think he starts and closes with it.
Yeah, you don't want to be corny with it, but if you bring it back, it's funny.
But if he keeps bringing out a guest every time they come out, they go, try to strike a chord, it is probably a minor. That's good.
I mean, it's great. We know SZA is going to be there. That's already been announced. Bring SZA out, then play it again. Then all of a sudden Snoop comes out, play it again.
True.
Bring Drake out, play it again. Never know.
Yeah. After the Grammys, anything's possible. I don't know. So
it is.
I'm very excited. Is there a guest star you haven't mentioned you're willing into existence? I am willing Lil Wayne into existence. It's easy, but it's fun.
And the crowd would love it. Everyone, that would be the feel good one. So that would be cool. I think there's a decent chance of Dre, and I would like that.
Does the crowd boo if he brings out Taylor? I don't think so, but it feels it.
I don't think they boo.
I
don't think they're excited. Really? For what is it? Blank Space?
Bad Blood.
Bad Blood.
I don't need her to ever have her own halftime show. And honestly, if she comes out to like be there for Kendrick, I think it's kind of fun. Listen, she's there already. Zip line in from the box.
Perform from the box. Just stay up there.
With Donna.
Yeah. That's fine. That's good enough.
Yeah, true. That would be okay. No world that happens, but it'll be good. I wonder how many songs SZA's going to stay out there for. They've got like 7 together now. It's like Quinn and Chelsea Cutler.
I mean, they're for sure playing the one on the new album.
Yeah.
I would assume.
Donda. Nope. That's Kanye's mom. Damn.
Kanye also had the headlights. That's what I'll will into existence. I want Kanye out there. For sure.
He just got kicked out of the Grammys.
He did potentially. By the way, that's the stupidest fucking thing of all time. If that's even true, and potentially true, potentially not true. He was nominated. Like, if you don't want him there, don't nominate him. What are we even doing?
It's dumb. It's dumb. It's dumb.
We didn't invite you there. Here, actually, we did exactly do that. So
I don't know. Then I saw
you can like him or hate him, but don't invite him to be mad he showed up.
Yeah, that's true. I'm nominated for an award. It's my name on there.
Yeah, I could have won.
Yeah,
unless it's rigged, and then there you go.
Here's the Grammys picked it. They know that's so. I'm with you. Yeah, if you don't want to invite somebody, shouldn't you feel equally compelled about not nominating them?
Yeah. Unless the invitation was, we are going to invite you. We rigged it so you will not win. Please don't show up. Put it in black and post a press statement out about that too. Why not?
Well,
also, why you didn't need to nominate him? His new album's not good.
No,
it's not like that. He's this polarizing guy and his incredible music. I love Kanye, not the album. Didn't need to nominate him.
They don't listen to hip hop or country.
No.
But I will say, thrilled Doechii won. But
sure.
I love Doechii. But the cat, and especially when I was like, oh, Eminem's gonna win.
Yeah,
they know his name. But speaking of things, Zach, that will make you scratch your head, scream why in the universe. We were all sitting home. We were all doing this, getting ready either to enjoy another night in Iowa or getting ready to watch the Royal Rumble. The Royal Rumble's happening. We're all there. And then NBA tries to save their fucking season. A deal.
Did their best.
They did their best. I can't believe I care about the NBA. And I do. They pull you back in because I'm going to say it, Zach. This is the most fun trade of all time. Because it's bonkers.
People are calling it the biggest trade of all time too. I am unsure if that's actually true, but it's probably up there.
It's funny because it's like I've been struggling to figure out, for those living under a rock, we are talking about the Mavericks trade. So Mavericks,
to Aaron Fox to the Spurs. Oh.
Correct.
Poor Aaron Fox. That one got a little overshadowed.
He's going to be good there too. It's a real shame.
He's going to be great. Yeah.
But in the meantime, the Mavs traded Luka. To
the Lakers.
To the Lakers for Anthony Davis. I'm trying to get up the full spree.
People are missing the biggest part of the trade too. The Jazz were there. They participated and they got 2 second-round picks, which means nothing whatsoever because it's the NBA. But the Lakers ended up getting Luka. They got Maxi Kleber and they got somebody else. The Mavericks got obviously AD. They got Christie. They got somebody else.
Why can't I find it just listed?
They got a first round pick from the Lakers. Regardless, it's not the biggest thing you need to know is the Mavs got a first round pick in Anthony Davis, who's very good defensively, but he gets hurt all the time and he's older. The Lakers got Luka, who's one of the biggest players on the planet. He's a whiny little baby bitch who complains about everything, and he continuously gains too much weight to the point where he was, I think like a month ago, like 260 pounds. So you can see the reasons from both sides. We're ignoring one of the things, but people are all super confused, scratching your head, screaming, why would the Mavericks completely sacrifice their future and give the Lakers Luka? And that's a fair point because I think best case scenario, Anthony Davis may have 3 more years of like legit high level play. Maybe
I agree. Here's what I'd be confident in. I think it would be a really risky thing, no matter what you think of Luka, to think that Anthony Davis has more peak years than Luka left.
It's impossible. Like, even if you think Luka's going to continue doing exactly what he's done,
he's still going to have more productivity by the numbers. So that part is wild. I've got the full trade here. So it is, of course, the Lakers, Mavericks, and Jazz, most importantly, involved. So the Lakers receive not only Luka, they receive Maxi Kleber and also Markieff Morris, my boy, from the Mavs. Yeah. Dallas acquire Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and the 2029 first-round pick of the Lakers.
Okay.
What a year for 2029. And the Jazz receive...
That pick's going to be so good. 2029. That kid's in high school.
The Jazz receive Jalen Hood-Schifino and the LA Clippers second-round pick for 2025 and the Mavericks second-round selection for 2025.
Jazz got second-round picks just for showing up. Not bad. They pick up the phone. They're like, hey, do you guys want to have a couple second-round picks? We're like, I guess. Like, what do we have to give up? Nothing really. It's fine.
By the
That
way,
was the conversation.
Shout out to the chat. Just want a quick shout out to the chat. Probably starts playing Meet the Grams. I fucking wish. Dear
That'd be
Adonis,
great.
bring him in. I hope so. Drake, it's your funeral. We've all attended.
That would be wild. That'd be good.
But speaking of wild, sorry, just like the comment, shout out to everyone with us in the chat and listening. So we appreciate it. But here's the wildest thing to me. Everyone could win this trade. I think everyone's like, one of these teams is so stupid. Because here's what I've heard. I've heard, obviously, the initial outrage of like, how could the Mavs ever consider trading Luka? I think a similar camp is like, well, the Lakers are now favorites to win the championship. I've heard people be like, Luka must actually be secretly terrible, and he is dealing with a lot of the things you mentioned. And how bad must it be that the Mavericks were willing to trade him? So actually, it's going to be terrible and great for the Mavs. And I would just like folks to recognize everyone could get exactly what they want. The Mavs kind of could remain competitive, but still build in a few years. By the way, the GM said our future is in 3 years from now, which that's
well. He also said with Jason Kidd next to him, like, past 3 years, we're probably going to be fired. We're probably going to bury ourselves. Like, okay, buddy, don't say that. We already think you suck. Don't say that out loud.
And that's where I'm like, I do think it's interesting. Like, what compelled this trade? I think even in their
I think it's Luka.
Yeah.
This trade doesn't come up. Anthony Davis kind of trashed the front office of the Lakers in an interview, so I think there's a rift there.
Yeah.
But the Mavericks have to approach people about Luka. I don't think anyone's approaching Dallas about Luka.
And this, you're so right. And this is the part I don't think people are necessarily comprehending because it's in the weeds of it. Once you grasp that they felt like they had to move Luka, and I think that's the only sense-making part to start with, is they must have felt that way, because then, no, they did not get like Luka's worth. But if you had to move him, this is the type of deal you get. We got a all-star Hall of Famer type from somebody who's not, as valuable as Luka, quote unquote. But we got somebody, we got relatively the same amount of players, and we got a first-round pick. Like, that was about as good. What package are they going to get from a team that's better? But I know people aren't asking that because they're going, why would you trade Luka? Obviously, they felt like they had to. You wouldn't do this trade otherwise.
Right. And the whole thing, if you want to know why the Mavericks did this, go back to that Brian Windhorst rant in the finals last year. I think it's that.
Do you like Brian Windhorst now?
No.
Out on him? I like him. He's got a certain cut to his gym.
I like him when he's not
talking about LeBron.
That too. But when he's not doing his thing on like a typical show, if he's just doing a random interview, if he's just doing his own thing, I like him then. But when he is there playing the specific character on the show that he's great at, it's not for me.
I get you.
But yeah, is what it is. But Luka complains to the refs. He plays zero defense. He's a liability in that case. And he continues to just blow it up and then lose weight. Supposedly, who knows if this is true? This could certainly be the Dallas PR just trying to cover their ass right now. But he had a calf injury, and then he was given like 2 weeks off earlier this season. And supposedly that was just so he could lose weight. And that's it. Basically, everything that's come out and everything we've seen from Luka in terms of just health, he's obviously ridiculously talented. Like, it's what you could argue he's the most talented player in the league, and you have a case. He does so many of the exact same shit that Zion Williamson does in terms of how he treats his body and shit. And he gets 0% of the shit for it because he's a superstar.
Well, you know who he gets less shit than? The Zion Williamson thing, I think is right. It's obviously different. I think he's pretty fucking identical to James Harden.
Yeah.
James Harden ruined his career because he couldn't stop boozing and going to strip clubs. He couldn't.
And he was just a PR nightmare because everyone who hates the NBA, they just showed clips of James Harden trying to draw fouls. That was his entire game.
Yeah,
and then
more
bitching to the
harmful
refs.
than helpful. And I think Luke is in that camp. And their defense is terrible. But where I get lost is like, I just don't know if any of those are I think the locker room X factor, what people thought of him and how helpful he is certainly the reason. I can't think of any on-court reasons that still lead you to this trade. It must have been the other stuff because
I don't know, man. Like they went to the finals and they were nowhere near close to winning because the Celtics just went at Luka.
yeah, I know. And but are they here's where I agree with you. I agree with you, but they're definitely not in the finals without Luka. And I know that was what they had to
True. But they got another all-pro NBA player back. I think for the future,
yeah.
they're set up worse. 5+ years out. I don't think they have a worse chance of winning this year. I don't know if they have a better chance, but I don't think they have a worse chance.
That's true. That's true. I also don't know if the Lakers odds are that much better this year.
I don't think it is at all because their whole thing was they needed a center just so Anthony Davis could play the 4. Their defense isn't very good. Their defense just got so much worse.
Yeah.
I think Luka is going to be better as the number 2 just because I don't think LeBron's going to put up with shit. I hate LeBron, but I think LeBron is the leader that Luka needs. For Dallas, Luka was the dude. And if your number 1 leader, your number 1 guy, the spotlight's on him, and all we know about him is he takes bad shots, he doesn't play defense, he boozes, he continues to gain a bunch of weight, he gets hurt all the time, and then he bitches about every single call. That's not a championship culture.
No.
But with the Lakers, LeBron, there's no confusion who's the leader there. Zero. No. So I think while LeBron's there, maybe he teaches Luka to be a pro, or maybe Bronny will whoop his ass, you know? Maybe Bronny will carry the torch once LeBron's done.
I certainly think from what we know about Luka's attitude, whatever you want to say about LeBron, you're absolutely right. There's no world where Luka's not going to listen to LeBron.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think this is good for him.
I think so too. My question is, in the basketball side of things, like they're both like, I need to handle the ball at this point, people. So
from X's and O's does not work still.
Does not work. But in the system of it, reportedly, LeBron found out about this over dinner.
Of course, LeBron wasn't in the loop.
There's no world where that's true. There's no world where that's true. That's not what we've learned about LeBron at all. I will say, if any part of this was instigated by someone else, which maybe is a big if, but let's say LeBron even just gave a head nod, said, I would okay it, but I did not initiate it. That is, as much as maybe I'm not rooting for them to succeed, it would be the first time in a very long time someone has GM'd on a LeBron team whose name wasn't LeBron. And I think that is interesting for a non-LeBron person in the Lakers to have some sort of say, if that holds any merit. But perhaps he's also looking for an out to not make it seem like he asked Anthony Davis to be traded.
There's a lot of factors at play, but Luke Reimer, not Luka, Luke Reimer wrote an article on FlurrySports about the winners and losers of this specific trade. And he talks about, as everyone knows, like the Lakers front office is horrendous. They're terrible. And what Luke's point was, he hates how a team like the Lakers can make every wrong move over and over and over again, and then somehow have a future plan and Luka fall into their lap. And with that mindset, and I think everyone has that mindset, and Luke's more dialed into the NBA than both of us, obviously.
Correct.
Like I said before, I think Dallas initiated everything. I think everyone knows that there was some sort of a rift between Anthony Davis and the front office there. Anthony Davis is becoming more, testy with everything. And I do think that relationship between AD and LeBron was, split a little bit because he openly criticized everything. So I think Dallas just saw, hey, this guy potentially could be moved and for a superstar, obviously. And, let's attack. And Dallas wants to get better defensively. They did that. Kyrie Irving and AD in terms of the pick and roll. I think that's better. And then no one's saying this, and I don't think it's probably possible, but I mean, they did just get a first round pick. I'm sure they have other picks of their own. Why wouldn't they jump into the Jimmy Butler sweepstakes?
Yeah, if they end up with Jimmy Butler out of all this, what a different world we'll be living in, or anybody else. But to your point about initiating first, listen, they called up every team with more than one superstar and said, because they're not going to, they're not going to do a superstar swap. That's clearly what they want to do. They're not going to do that with a team that just has a different, big one.
Right.
Like Milwaukee's not going to give them Giannis. I'm sure Milwaukee was in the loop and said, listen, Chris Middleton's a great guy.
Yeah.
You're going to love him, but I wonder how many teams were even in this pool, because if they
Probably
wanted a big man who's not it's not like they called Denver and said,
right,
Luka for Jokic straight up, what's going on?
Yeah.
So I bet they called the Timberwolves, honestly, and the Lakers and and the Knicks, but none of those teams, like Anthony Davis is better than Towns and better than Gobert. So
yeah, for sure. And at least in terms of the Timberwolves, I don't know about the Knicks, but I think the Knicks as well. Like, I don't think either of them have draft picks. Timberwolves traded it all for Gobert. So the Lakers at least had something to give up. 2029, it's made up. It's a made up pick.
True. Well, I said today we might all be underwater by then. But as
NBA is ridiculous with their trades. Like, I can't tell if draft picks have a lot of value or zero. I don't know.
It's like MLB free agency. At some point, numbers lose their meaning. A 17-year deal worth $750 million. Like, cool. Okay, you're rich forever. I don't know what that means.
I think the Kings got like 3 first-round picks and 3 second-round picks. Is that good or is that nothing? I don't know.
The only NBA trade that ever made sense in that way is I know what the Nets did to get Boston's big three was bad. It's the only one that was ever made sense. Yeah. Suddenly it was like, how many? We kept finding out the Celtics had more picks. Every year we went back, they had more. And
by the way, if draft picks mean anything, the Thunder should be the team. They have so many draft picks still. And they just kept trading for them.
They're good. But listen, I can't believe the NBA dragged me in this weekend. I thought it was good. Here's what else, my last thought in all of this. Anthony Davis is not the worst fucking basketball player on the planet. We're talking, way that people are talking about him right now for a future planning, we started with it, okay? So I'm not going to contradict myself. Luke is so much more valuable estimation-wise. There's no question. But Lakers fans are like, oh my God, we got out of the Davis deal. That is not what was holding you back from being successful.
No. Yeah, I completely agree with that. I don't know. NBA fans are weird. Is what it is. And congratulations, though, to the NBA on the eve of Super Bowl week for having a little bit of relevancy. Like, you noticed your NBA trade deadlines in the middle of Radio Row of Super Bowl week. You knew nothing fucking mattered before that. Let's attack during Pro Bowl when NFL fans know we don't. I know nothing about what happened at the Pro Bowl. Like, you could ask me anything other than the lineman competition.
NFC won the tug of war.
Did they? Truly no idea. I turned on the lineman competition was spiking a ball. It was so bad I turned it off. That's my Pro Bowl experience. It didn't even work. You can say anything about the competition. The reader didn't work. So I don't know.
I got excited about tug of war because Vita Vea was anchor. And they were like,
good anchor.
AFC started early and lost. They cheated, and then Vita Vea took over. The announcers rightfully were like, you thought you could beat Vita Vea? Like, it was like Stone Cold came back. So they built that up correctly. And the NBA, they have a sequel ready to go. Jimmy Butler is going to end up somewhere.
But will we care? I'm serious. If my headphones came off. So
exciting.
It's so exciting. If Jimmy Butler gets traded, I can't remember if it's tomorrow or Wednesday. Truly don't care. If Jimmy Butler gets traded and then Travis Kelce, says, yeah, me and Taylor are moving in together. What's the bigger story?
Yeah, right.
Or let's even throw it out. Let's say Chris Jones releases his fucking pregame playlist. That's it. That's the only thing that's needed. And everyone's going to be like, this is the bigger story. NBA doesn't hold a candle to the NFL, especially this week. NBA, move your schedule around. Don't play on Christmas ever again. You lost it. Sorry. Don't have your trade deadline during Super Bowl week. You lost it. Sorry.
Yeah.
Figure it out. Just change it. Sorry. It is what it is. Don't compete with the NFL. You're not going to win.
That's true. You know who else isn't going to win?
John Cena.
John Cena's not going to win. That's right, folks. Thank you for listening. It's time to talk Rumble.
Okay. Quick Rumble recap. Yeah. Anything to say about the women's one?
I love not too much because I know I'm a bigger WWE fan than you are. In a nutshell, in case folks are curious how my opinions on it, I'm disappointed because they could have done better because they clearly did later in the show. And so my positives, I actually do think, especially knowing who's going to win the men's, Charlotte's the right pick. It's not her fault. The rest of the Rumble wasn't good. She was like the best part of it. So she was good. And I love Jordy and Grace. So I was happy to see her. She's going to be great. I hope they push her. She like got the biggest pop, even though her music's new. Put sirens on it and away we go. So
that's cool.
Glad Alexa's back. Yeah, I'm happy for the folks in it.
Alexa being back was big.
Yeah. Someone said this, so it's not a new opinion of mine. Compared to the men's, it's like it's just sad to be like, and I know no directions coming out of that. Like, what is everyone else doing coming out of that Rumble? I probably know the next 5 feuds coming out of the men's one, and I can't name like one for sure pairing out of the women. So, but it was okay. It clearly should have started, and I think they got the right winner. Any other year, I think it's like remembered pretty fondly.
Are you still a fan of Nia Jax?
It's such an interesting question. Less unironically than I was. I think here's my thought. If they use her right, she's good. I don't know why they have her eliminating hordes of 10 people. Why did they all against the rope? Also, stop doing the spot where they all huddle over and then she pops up like the groundhog. They all fall away. But I do. The women's, you know who she is? She's Braun Strowman. They like if they just used her like that, where it's like she could just be there and have good feuds with folks to build them up, occasionally get a 1-month push and then drift down the card a bit again. She's great. She's cool to feud with. I just think, unfortunately, whenever the Rumble comes around, they tend to treat her like Godzilla.
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't think she's very talented. Like I like just watching him. Like this isn't great to watch. Like she made Trish, who showed up again, look so much better.
So my only thing, I think it's been consistent enough. She's not. Listen, she's not a great worker. I think she's really good. I think she's good at putting people over.
Sure.
Not as good as, you know who I really like that they should use more? I like everything they did with Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. Piper Niven was in there, didn't do much, but she made everybody look like $1 million. Jordy and Grace picked her up. Yeah, so it's like she's great. So I like parts of it. It was my least looked forward to out of the 4 matches, and I think it was my least favorite of the 4 matches. So
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
And then everybody's bathroom break.
Yes, everyone left to take great bathrooms at Lucas Oil. I get it.
Yeah.
Tag team match was good though. But then do you have anything to say about that match other than no one watched it? But
if it was going to be 15 minutes, just do a 1. Like you don't have to do best 2 out of 3.
True. Yeah.
But I honestly would say it's worth a watch. I think it's good. I also think, listen, you have to start somewhere. They haven't had like a tag team championship match on a main card like this in like, I think since Sammy and like since the Usos were like tag champions. So it's been a minute, and that wasn't even the focus of those belts. Obviously it was the bloodline shit. So, you got to start somewhere. These teams were good. You were saying that too. And they were building. That's what I don't get. If you were going to use it to just build up like a 3-team feud, I don't know why they did the 2 out of 3 stipulations.
Yeah.
So, because you could have just done big long match, smoky finish. We do the same thing anyway, but I like the Street Profits too. It's going to be great. So, everybody's good. It's just they ran out of time, but I don't know if I would change anything besides the stipulation part. Like the match was good. And honestly, even saying that about the stipulation, the reason I make the bathroom break joke, honestly, if the crowd's into this match,
it would have been a lot better.
It's a lot better. They were doing like we talked about, they're like doing baseball slide drop kicks through the middle ropes to no reaction. So I don't know, but it was good. They were also doing a lot of call outs to like some of their more famous matches. So the hardcore folks didn't get into it. The casual folks didn't get into it. So I don't know what they were supposed. Next year, there'll be 5 matches on the card and one of them will be a fucking joke. So they'll do that instead. But the next one, I would not be surprised if this was some people's favorite match of the night. As much as I like the men's Rumble. God, Cody and KO are like over right now.
Yeah. It was a good match. It was brutal. Anytime there's a ladder match is always exciting.
Yeah. I like that they didn't pull out a table.
They didn't pull out a table, but they found a lot of ladders and they used them all.
In gross ways. I should have known it was going to get gross when the first spot that happened is they went through the side sharp part of a ladder.
Kevin Owens, man, beats the living piss out of his body. How many times does he need to get his back slammed on the damn ladder? I get it. You don't need to do it again.
I saw that was one of the commentaries. Botchamania was like, that's it. He likes this spot. We got to pretend like it must make him feel good.
Yeah, I don't know. But apparently there was a legitimate injury in this match, and it wasn't who I thought it was.
Yeah, Cody's leg is fricked up, I guess.
But I mean, Owens went through a ladder to the floor, and ref signaled it was a real injury. That was a work. I thought he smacked his head on the fucking concrete. Like that's what it looked like to me.
Yeah.
Apparently that's not true. But like, and then obviously he was doing shit to get all bloody when they turned him around. But I thought there was a legitimate chance the way he was laying, he smacked his face and was out. But it wasn't. So, I mean,
that reportedly altered how fast they were going to go to the finish. Reportedly, they skipped
that or Cody,
the head part, because they were worried about Kevin's head.
Oh, that was legit then.
Well, it was legit in the moment, but I haven't heard anything since about like him missing time. There's report of Cody dealing with multiple leg injuries, but the fact that they're not naming them or time frame, like, I don't think it's going to be things that alter plans.
Are they starting to talk about Cody Rhodes being injury prone? Maybe they need to trade him to AEW.
Maybe they do. Well, you know what they aren't talking about is I think Kevin has gained weight. Does he need to get traded away?
I wasn't going to say it, but I think that might be true.
He does seem like a locker room headache. By the way, Kevin Owens never gets skinny. I think it would really change how I feel about you. I like your presence.
If he was skinny, yeah, unrelatable. He's supposed to be the everyman.
Here's what I'll say about this. One, honestly, a great match. Really, really good. I don't know how they keep me like, I feel like they went into this match, and of course, everyone's like, oh, be fun. Let Kevin win. And by the end, again, it's like, nope, I want Cody to win. So he's great at his job. I love that they brought Sammy out there and he didn't do anything.
Yeah.
He was just there to be sad. And I liked that. I liked it because it's a more interesting outcome. As much as it's like, he was either going to run that out there and like stop Kevin from doing something and we would have ended in the same spot and we get him and Kevin. I like the nuance of you either go the exact same direction, but it's a lot more fun and complex because Kevin's mad at Sammy because he didn't do anything. Like Sammy's like, I didn't even like get in your way. And Kevin's like, yeah, but you didn't, kill Cody. So I'm pissed at you. Or what I'm hoping happens, which is Sammy came out there and was like, I'm both people's friends. And then Cody killed his fucking bestie.
Yeah.
So that would be the direction I'd like to see them go. Also, I think it makes sense for what happened in the Rumble later because Sammy had a bad night. So
Sammy did have a bad night. To me, again, I thought Owens was legitimately hurt a lot worse. So I thought the whole Sami Zayn thing was just on the fly. Like I thought he was supposed to go out there and do something, but given what was actually happening, then they just, called it.
And maybe that would make sense. If that was the case, I do think he reacted somewhat well. But in either case, I think I don't think it'll impact where they go from here. So I'm glad he was involved. And maybe this is the better way to put it. I like that he did not decide the match.
Sure.
For the bump that Owens took, by the way, I still don't. I think Cody took the worst bump of the match. That suplex he took onto the ladder and then bounced up, which that, by the way, is, I guess, where Kevin really hit his head was.
Yeah, you can tell. Yeah.
So that was crazy. But so
that was first, and then I thought he face planted on the damn concrete.
By the way, more people need to be doing Alabama slams. That's what I learned.
Yes. Yep, that's true.
Hardcore Holly would be proud. Then we had one more match, Zach. And so here's my question to you. As my only thought coming out of this Rumble is the Royal Rumble for years was WWE's not subtle cue to the viewing audience. You can start watching again.
Yeah.
You can come in and is that still effective when I feel like so much of this Rumble, as someone who I know like doesn't watch it weekly like I do, but you still kind of follow it. So maybe it didn't. But my question is just, was it fun for you when I really did think like they did a lot of homework to this Rumble before the pay-per-view?
I thought the Rumble was really good and fun. I don't think it accomplished the goal as it used to be. Like you said, like, hey, these are some people you already know. So to help you with that and make you happy there, but then give you all these storylines that we're going to go into and you're excited about it. I don't think they really did that. I don't think they gave us, like, to your point before, I think we know the direction a lot of these are going to go, but I don't think they were explicit enough or interesting enough where it's like, okay, yes, I want to see that. And obviously it sounds like there was a work with, who's the guy with the sword?
Drew McIntyre. Yeah.
I can't say this any other way. Apparently it seems like it's a work. I'm not sure if it was announced, but like he left abruptly backstage because someone needed to get their moves in. So he was upset with how he exited and then he left before the match was over. It sounds like that's a work to set up something else. Maybe not though. Maybe he's actually upset.
Yeah. The only thing was the elimination did seem weird for him. It seemed abrupt, but
I don't even know who he's talking about, if that's the case.
This is the part where I'm like, maybe it's real. It seems like it's Logan.
Okay.
So someone being mad at Logan Paul doesn't seem out of character. And the accusation is that he's mad because his elimination was rushed. If it is Logan, because Logan was like celebrating on the table after he had already jumped over there. But that is one rumor. If it's Priest, it's a work because that's the feud they're building to. So, which I do like. Everyone's mad about that because Drew's not going to be in the title scene. But like Damian Priest cashed in on Drew last year. It's not like out of nowhere. They were both champions recently. They should be in a big feud. Like, I think the fact people aren't excited about it means they haven't done a great job with Priest since he was champ. So that's more what it is to me. But yeah, that seems to be something coming out of it. I agree with you on the direction thing. Kind of. I think they chose to prioritize two things with the outcome of the Rumble that I like enough in principle that it made me really like the match, which is I think this is them, to your point, changing what they want the Rumble to be. I think they maybe bit the bullet this year and are like, we want it to be unpredictable. And that means for a year, we're going to like not leave the Rumble, know exactly where we're going, which I like as a thing for future years. And here's what I really like. people can like that they pick Jay or not like that they pick Jay. I think fans are, if you are not excited that WWE clearly tried to pick someone that was really, really over,
Mm-hmm.
who doesn't have a set story, then I don't know what you're, like we've been begging for that for like 20 years. Like
Sure.
just pick this guy at the right time. Maybe it won't work with Jay, but if they're going to do that kind of thing, it is better. So I'm glad that they did that this year.
Yeah.
Because here's my thing with the rumors so set, because I did a video on the channel heading into it. It was just which matches are they going to pick to like use the Rumble to push. I'm fine with them picking none of them. Like, I don't think
Mm-hmm.
any of the rumors have changed, which I kind of love. Like, Gunther was going to face
Sure.
somebody, but we didn't know who. It's going to be Jay.
Yeah, they needed somebody with personality to fight that Saltine. So that's why it's like, let's get the guy with the most personality.
I think I am going to do a fantasy booking on this, but WWE better not miss this chance to like do something, because Gunther's whole thing is, and he's been so boring with it, but his character is,
Surprise.
people need to take this, Nazi, but people need to take this business seriously, right? People need to like wrestle in the ring. He should hate this guy.
For sure. Yeah, yeah.
And now this guy's gonna be at Mania. I feel like Gunther should just be obsessed for the next 3 months and be like, no, I have to be champion because I need to murder this man. Like the guy who yeets with sunglasses cannot like beat me. So I think that writes itself. I also think you kind of said this when we were texting back and forth. See, it would have been the least fun thing to have for Cena's story to, if he wins here, like,
yeah, then he does nothing until
going.
Mania.
Yeah. And by the way, I know this wasn't on the show, so it's like, I don't know if you can count it part of it. If they use it on Raw tonight, it'll make me feel really good. Not the only one saying it. Cena's promo in the post Rumble like media scrum is probably the best promo I've seen him do in like a long time. Probably one of the first ones in a long time I've seen him look like a real human. So that helps.
Fair.
But it was great. And I think they told that story of like, he came back and he saw it more as a press tour than like a thing. And so I like what was that? Go ahead.
Sold a lot of merch.
Sold a lot of merch.
He used the whole match. He knew where every camera was. He pointed the messages on every part of the shirt, the sweatbands.
By the way, Cena still got his fastball. When he thought he eliminated Jay, did a look at the ground and back to him. I'm like, this guy, you're the best actor here. Are you also the worst actor? Yeah. So I don't know if they told the story well, but I like that they told the Rumble to tell a story. They were clearly going for everybody else in the match had someone to take them out. And not Jay. Jay was the only one whose thing in the match, his whole thing was, I need to prove I'm a main eventer. It's been his story this whole time. And no one took him seriously. So he won instead. And I like that a lot. I think, listen, we get what I kind of like is it's the most, to me, fun way to get the same outcome. I will say maybe this is the best version of your point. I think if you were going to argue against the way this match ended, I don't know if the win was as hot as the Rollins Roman Punk brawl. Like the little moment after that where it's Cena, Logan, Jay, it kind of felt like, oh, all the stars just left. Like it's that felt like the thing. So but if they do that as a triple threat, that's money. And I guess doesn't need a title.
No, not with that.
Yeah. And then you do Gunther Jay and you still get Cody Cena, which I think is great. And then at that point, I love the character of Cody being like, which he told him on the ladder match, I'm so sick of this. I'm so tired. Stop trying to kill me. And John getting there and being like, I also am like dying to get this is the best way to get there. So for me, I will say this too. The Rumble was a fucking hour and a half long and they picked a winner that I was like genuinely surprised by at the end. Nice job. You know, you don't have to do it every year, but you picked Charlotte in the first one. So for me, I'm happy with it. In the moment, do think it's one of my favorite Rumbles. Just because I think it's rewatchable. I think there's some good Rumbles where
For
it's
sure.
like, oh, I like the end or whatever, and it's like I have to skip 2/3 of this match. The whole thing's pretty good.
Yeah, well, it was more than just a couple big moments.
Yeah.
There was great moments, and I think we didn't even mention the two best ones. First
No.
off, Otis. What are we doing?
Otis is great. The worm. It was also the best spot at the women's Rumble was the reverse worm.
That's true. Otis is just I love that man so damn much.
He is not a Triple H guy at all. I hope Triple H does something there. There's a story with Otis. Yeah.
There is. Yeah. Ask him. Ask him his story. He'll tell you.
Ask him. He's been in the same feud the whole time. We talked about this before the show. I Show Speed coming out just to be part of Braun's Murder Express. It's awesome.
Braun Breaker is so good.
So good. Well, I was going to say, for me, besides like the stars who were already stars, the thing I liked about this Rumble, pretty clear of like, and these are the next guys. Braun is in that group. Jacob Fatu's a fucking psychopath. He's great. And Penta got eliminated, didn't care. Definitely put 2 feet.
I know nothing about him. He was good. I didn't know if he was like an OG who like, has been around a different. So he's a younger guy.
No, sorry, I get your point. No, been everywhere else. He was big on like Lucha Underground, like that show that was there for 5 seconds, and then he was on AEW. He just left. His brother is gonna reportedly come over soon. But Cero Miedo's his thing. You can tell because he does it all the freaking time. But no, he's good. He is like I think he's comparable to Sandman, or maybe Sabu. Like he's a crazy person. I think that's kind of his character.
Once all like the Lucha guys went out, the match slowed down. The first half of the match was all the guys 5'7" and under. They were flying around, and then all of a sudden, like McIntyre came out. Yeah, and all the 6'2" guys come out, and all of a sudden everything got slow.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That slowed down. There's some of that like 16 to 20. Like Roman coming in was awesome. Jacob was in there. Some of that was a little like you could tell the Drew McIntyre elimination was what it was. Sammy got eliminated very abruptly. Again, I think that's to set up something with him.
That German fucker. I hate that guy. He's my least favorite wrestler. I hate that dude. I can't stand
him. Love him and Gunther are getting like you're a real life like hater of those two. Their heel act is working on you exactly as they wanted
for sure.
But it's just so funny because it's like I think most people are apathetic and it's hitting a certain spot with you. But
I really hate them.
Yeah. AJ came back from injury. I thought it was cool. You probably didn't know Joe Hendry at all, but it was cool to see him there. They gave him the TNA title so he could be in the Rumble like this. So that was nice. I thought it was weird that Michael Cole was like, "Oh, TNA champion, so happy to have you." Oh, that's Roman. Good luck, buddy. Like, I'm like, okay, build it up a little bit. Like, what happened to our equal fun partnership between us and TNA?
There's still a little brother. It's going to be that way.
But I think all the main players are going to come out with something from this, which is good. I don't know. I wonder if Jay will make it work. I think he has will he do it though? Because sometimes Jay does not stick to the script. He just says that's part of why it's his characters. He just keeps it simple. There's a reason why the best clip of 2023 was when him and Cody won the tag titles and they got too fucking drunk in their press conference. Oh, it's so good. They're just they're hilarious, but it's like I think Jay is a little bit like Jay, you're the main guy of the company. Focus. So last week on Monday, he cut a great promo in between like losing his breath completely because he yeeted like an extra 5 minutes. So he's great. But his story of like, I hope he comes out tonight on Raw or whenever you're listening to this. I hope they incorporate in his whole thing. He was with Roman and everyone's like, "You're not the guy." He like breaks off, proves it, wins the Rumble. You're not the guy. Great. There's your story. That's all you need. You literally do it again. I win the Rumble and people now don't believe in me again. But also, by the way, nothing more fitting than John Cena losing a Rumble than everyone going, like, I hate that John Cena didn't win the Rumble. Like, that has to feel good for John.
By the way, this isn't new or anything, but the best part and the part that WWE does the absolute best, better than any production company on the entire planet, their cameramen and camera angles
Yeah.
they're always on point. They're so fucking good. And
What was
I
your
can't
favorite?
well, just like in terms of what's super good, how they always have those shots with the WrestleMania
Yes.
sign in the background in the big moments. So good. But I mean, come on. Like John getting eliminated and just being right up in his face.
Yeah.
It's so good. I can't even imagine just the logistic.
Oh,
Because that's the shit that's planned more than anything in wrestling.
yes.
Like you got to know what camera's hot at which time, and to have the exact angles, and everyone's timing has to be right, and the switching and all of that. It blows my mind. If there's one thing about wrestling that, like, as I've gotten older, obviously, that I'm like, that's an art form. It's that fucking shit. It's so good.
Them following Triple H back and picking iShow Speed was a genuinely well done moment. To talk more now, the more I talk about it, I'm like, is Braun Breaker the best part of this match? Because also him coming in and spearing Roman Reigns was awesome. And to your point about camera angles, he gets eliminated by Roman. Roman's really good at that. Roman is great in the ring as always, but he's so good. He's done that for years of like, I'm getting eliminated. Wrong, you are. He's good at that spot. He's had to win a lot of rumbles, so I think he's gotten practice. But the angle of Braun Breaker getting eliminated and going, I almost fucking had you, it was great because he's a psycho. Like I feel like that camera angle put him over as much as anything in the match, because it wasn't like Roman being like, oh, see, you're still a loser. Like it was Braun being like, man, if this were a real match, I'd still be murdering you.
Yeah, exactly.
And I mean, and so fast.
Just once he starts picking up speed on the ropes, like you know it's coming. It's so good.
They did miss an opportunity. One of these times, he just has to run into Otis as fast as he can, right? We just have to see what happens.
What would be a better spot, though, if Otis is the one person who can take it, or if he just folds Otis too?
I think both are good. One of these times, I just want to be like, ugh, like just hold your ground, Otis. That'd be a good pop for Otis.
It would be a great pop. You can eliminate him or do whatever you want after that, but if he takes a spear and doesn't move, it'd be pretty impressive.
Now, so overall, I thought it was a good 4 matches, and I really liked two of them. So maybe here's where I'll leave the men's rumble. No matter what you thought of it, I think it's got a really good potential to age well.
I think so too. And also, I didn't bring it up, but I think this is my favorite Roman Reigns. And the one reason he has to he can't walk as slow as humanly fucking possible down. I thought there's a real chance the next person was going to get announced and enter the ring before him. But he actually put a little pep in his step. I appreciate that. That's the only thing I can't stand about Roman Reigns usually. And turns out the Royal Rumble fixes that.
Yeah.
I love that.
No, the stuff with that, maybe that was it. When it left and realized it wasn't going to be about the bloodline, I think Roman and Punk are so Seth, what he did after he got eliminated, I'm like, oh my God, I care about Seth. Like he's really good. But before that, I'm like, Roman and Punk were just so good that when they weren't in the finale of the match, I'm like, oh, damn. Because they were just doing so well. But that's credit to them. That's where they're at right now. What Punk's got going on with Heyman is so interesting.
It is.
So no, it's all good. Also, WWE did great pick of like to have Jay win by eliminating Cena. Good pick, because it was like got down the final 2 and it was like, oh my God, can't believe it. I do think WWE, honestly, probably a little bummed. People were so in favor of John Cena. I think there was probably a little hope is like at the end, are they going to get a little like, oh, not the obvious winner? And that didn't happen at all. Like, I think people were like, we still think Cena's going to win and we're okay with it. But overall, I think WWE has to be happy with the show. Favorite Roman Reigns. I also think, dude, Rey Mysterio still got it.
He does. He didn't hit a 619 though.
No, well, it's a dumb move to do in the Rumble. It's a bad.
It is, but
Dom tried.
He did.
By the way,
Dom
great
stinks.
spot. Dom coming out after Punk, Rollins, Roman.
True.
Cena, awesome. Who's next? Dom. Boom.
Ah, yeah. Screw this.
Logan at 30 was also smart.
It was other. I wish there was more surprises at 30. I think
I
that's
do
what
too.
I would appreciate.
But if it's not gonna be, put a guy who you're gonna boo to hell anyway.
Sure.
So that's what I mean by smart. I wish it was somebody else, but it was like once they knew who was going to be in the Rumble,
then you're already upset. You're like, oh fuck, it's Logan.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
Or they could have just had Cena be 30. I was thinking about that too, but they got more because he came in, and by the way, he came in, took moves from everybody. I was laughing at that. Came in, took a frog splash from Tom. Andrade hit a finisher on Cena.
Everyone's finisher, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, why is John Cena selling like crazy?
They just chilled in the corner for 20 minutes.
Yeah, final thoughts, John. Way to let the bald spot just live. You know?
He's gotten more comfortable with that. I don't like
LeBron. It. Yeah. No, I don't like it either,
True.
but I do wish this was the time. I wish he shaved his head. He's in a movie. He can't do that. But like full old man John, grow a beard, look like Pete.
I was going to say look like Goldberg.
That would have been good too. I like that also. So
I was a little nervous Goldberg was coming out. Not gonna lie. That was the one I'm like, not Goldberg. Please, not Goldberg.
I know. I was also, there were rumors that Rock was still going to be there.
That would have bummed me out too. I'm done. Are you done with The Rock? I think I am.
I am right now. He can get me back in. Sure. Would I not have been into it's like it looks like Roman wins and Rock comes out? I think I would have been into that, but
well, you would have. I would have. I don't think I would have. I don't want to see him right now. I'm done. He's pissed me off too much.
Yeah, I'm interested in what they do to bring him back in, but he's not going to be involved in this year's Mania at all. He's not involved in the story. He won't be involved in anything, I think.
That checks out.
Yeah.
My only worry is I think they need to have Cena lose at Elimination Chamber still. I think that makes sense.
Yeah,
I think you need to keep drawing it out. That's how you do this John Cena thing. You need to keep people watching. That's why everyone's going to watch Elimination Chamber now. Like, because John Cena's it could be John Cena's big moment.
So does he face, who does he face at Mania if it's not Cody? Punk?
I think Punk. That's the one that makes sense to me in a little bit, but it also makes sense to have him put over somebody. And Punk doesn't need that.
They're definitely doing Punk Cena at some. Oh, you know who they could do? He didn't come back here, but the rumors were he's ready, which is Randy.
Oh, I don't mind that.
You can always do Cena Randy. Then who does? Well, this was my other thought. They could still, but then it would be for the championship. I feel like if you could have Cena lose Chamber. You could have Jay pick Cody. I don't know what that means. And then you do Logan Gunther, and you still haven't solved who Cena's facing. But I was like, who does Cody face? Cody could face Jay. I mean, he could pick either one of them.
Yeah.
And they have some history. I'm not as into that, to be honest with you. I kind of like the idea of Jay being like, all right, I'm the winner, but not really the important one. We can have our cake and eat it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go to this one.
For sure.
No, but I agree. I like the idea of him. Maybe he loses Chamber and it becomes a triple threat. You could do Cody, Punk, Cena.
Yeah, that could work for the championship.
I think for the championship, and then Punk and Cena take each other out of it. That's kind of also been Punk's thing. Then you do Punk Cena. I don't know. I'm going to do a fantasy booking thing. I have to think about it because in my head, like what is Cena's last show? I don't think they've told us when his run is done.
No.
But if they wanted to, if Cena wins at Rumble, the only thing that's been in my head is if they're okay with him not doing the whole year, and I think maybe he'd have to. Punk Cena at Money in the Bank. 15 years after Punk beat Cena to kick him out of the company, quote unquote, for one night, Punk Punk finally gets the belt and it's the expense of Cena. Makes a ton of sense. It's great. Doesn't put over somebody, but I don't know. Cena wouldn't have to put someone over. He could also just right some wrongs. He did that with Bray, of like, you're not new, but like maybe I shouldn't have beat you back then. So
let's run him back. Let's do another cinematic match with Uncle Howdy.
I'd be down. So I don't know. I'll be really interested, but the Rumble was fun.
The way over.
Put Otis over. Put Otis over. Just, can I have one show on Raw where Braun is never off my screen? That's also what I call Braun Breaker, just spearing people for 2 hours. Also good. Where is he?
Let's do Braun Breaker versus Braun Strowman.
Yeah, that's also interesting. I think in Mania we get Braun Breaker Sheamus to beat for Sheamus to win his only Intercontinental. But after all this, I'd be okay with Braun Penta. I'd be really okay. He's not on Raw right now. If they did Braun Jacob Fatu, he's a psycho. And they had Michael Cole be like, here's a future main event of WrestleMania. I'm like, oh shit. Okay, well, that'll tell you everything you need to know. But I told someone it's the most fun I've had watching a WrestleMania match without like you. Like, it's a different wrestling match watching it without like friends there. So
a Rumble match, you mean?
Yeah, I think any wrestling show. I think a wrestling show I've watched on my own. Well, Claire was there, but she took a nap for most of it. She made me wake her up when Nikki Bella came out.
I'm sure. Is that what she was waiting for?
She loves Total Bellas and she loves Traders. Nikki Bella came out. She's like, oh my God, she's going to win. I was like, no. She's not going to win.
Keep watching. Watch what happens.
Claire, by the way, was listening to the announcer. She was like, but she came out at 30. Aren't her odds the best? Correct. However, no chance.
You're falling for the gimmick right now.
Yeah, that's right. They got you right where they want you.
Lindsay was fully excited about John Cena. Everyone
was. Everyone was.
What is he doing? Why is he doing that? I thought he was a good actor. I had to keep reminding her he is going to win an Oscar someday.
He is going to win an Oscar someday. Real last thought. I hope it works out because the storyline's good. It is a little risky to have Jay, like maybe have Logan take out Cena and then Jay take out Logan. Like then you get like oh my God, Jay wins versus like, is everyone so excited to see Cena?
It sounds like Cena wanted it in terms of like what he said to Jay afterwards and everything else. Like it sounds like he legitimately wanted to put him over.
That's why I'm cool with it. Like this, I think this went according to plan. I think it was risky, but I think it's according to plan. So I think that's good. But no, I think the most fun I've had watching a wrestling show, like not with another wrestling fan in the same room.
It is much better. For sure.
So much better. It was just like, what's your favorite wrestling match of all time? Oh, besides Johnny Knoxville versus Sami Zayn?
The Mountain Dew Midnight Pitch Black match. You kidding me? Or the Cinnamon Toast one.
Yeah, I knew it for sure. I was like Dominic versus Ray with the Cinnamon Toast Crunch guy.
It was Tom Ray.
Because he came out of his police car, handcuffed.
That's right. What a bad boy.
What a bad boy. He was loitering.
And that was that the match where they had the spot with his mom and sister?
Yeah.
I love that. I love the obvious plant in that seat. It's one of my favorite things wrestling does.
It is good. It's right up there with the giant hand.
Oh, I mean, more pay-per-views need to have a giant hand in it. Yeah. Let Johnny Knoxville just pop up and be a nuisance.
I think about that all the time when people are like, when did Sammy get over? And they're like, when he joined the Bloodline. Wrong.
No, that was not it. When he got caught in a mousetrap or body slammed by a wee man.
Still, my actual best fantasy pitch I've ever done was on the show. I still think have Sami Zayn win the title. Be like, I've done it all. I've beat everybody. Not everybody.
No.
One more round.
Notably. Yeah.
Johnny comes back.
I'm game. Him in the Rumble was great. Everything. Johnny Knoxville's run. Unprecedented.
I showed that match at a staff meeting.
Good.
I was like, here's what I did this weekend. Showed him the spot where Johnny puts the sparkler up his ass.
Oh, so good. So many things went wrong in that match.
Johnny got a concussion for the finish.
He got a concussion. The mousetrap didn't work.
That's how he got a concussion.
Yeah.
Wee Man.
You're right. Wee Man's great. Pontius showing his feet to everybody.
Yeah. Hey, folks, if you're still listening to this, we appreciate it. Our numbers went up when we talked Rumble, which, that's how it works, baby.
That's the internet right now. Wrestling's big right now. Like, legitimately, it's getting pretty big.
Wrestling is big right now. And now they tuned in the wrestling. What's wrestling doing? That's right. We're all waving our hands up and down. We're yelling, eat.
We're sophisticated.
Eating. We're eating.
Yeah.
We're eating good.
We're eating good right now. We'll be back next week for the season finale. Boy. And
Super
then
Bowl breakdown.
We will let you know when we come back. We'll let you know the schedule. We'll really figure it out this week. That's going to be the biggest thing. But Super Bowl, you got our picks. You got the money-making picks. Go put them in. Put them both in. Maybe that's not a good strategy to make money since we were opposite on several things, but never know.
Put $5 on clear Gatorade.
Or none.
There's no world words. I don't know. I am now I'm on the over of 2.5 of Not Like Us. That's my prop bet. He's doing that bad boy 5 times.
I hope so. I'm also hoping for a commercial for Great American Beer or Real American Beer.
Oh, let's end on this. Thanks to everyone who put in chats. Most of all, Randy. Have you ever scored any touchdowns before? No, but I did technically register a safety.
Did you?
No, not forcing the safety. I was technically the person who.
Oh, you recovered it? It was a fumble.
It was a fumble, and then I recovered it, and then they said safety, and I was like, "Does that go against me? Because that
that's fucking dumb."
That's not my fault. They're like safety number 54. I'm like, I was guard. I wasn't even the center. I didn't fumble the snap. I didn't touch the ball. I got the ball back. That's on my record book.
That does stink. I've only scored a touchdown at the exposure camp, not in a legal game. Even though like any offensive lineman, I asked for it. I could have.
Yeah.
I could have scored. Just give me a chance, coach. Bring me back. Well, I got one run in me from the 2.
You got one run in you. You never had a defensive touchdown?
No. I almost got a safety. But there's a lot of fumble recoveries, but no defensive touchdown.
It's hard to get in motion.
Registered safety. It is. That's true. That is true. You know what I would have had? This motherfucker, Greg Christoffel, if you're listening.
Yeah. All right. Listen in, everyone. This is how we end the show. All right.
Elkdown versus Koufax. Everybody knows it. I believe it was homecoming for us. And this guy is the bane of my existence. He's a rival in the same way the Packers and the Bears are rivals. The Packers win every time. I beat his ass every time. He stinks. His sister, notably took our wedding photos. Thank you, Katie. But Greg stinks. Okay? Running back. How's this dude a running back? I lifted him, was holding him up, stripped the ball, was running the other direction. No one's going to catch me. Sure, it was maybe 75 yards that I could have gassed out, but I stripped it, and then the ref called him down, and this is the one time as a player I lost it at a ref and almost got flagged because he said he was down. I said, are you fucking kidding me? I was holding him up, and I got into the ref's face. I was pissed off. That would have been a touchdown. And Greg stole that from me. And most of all, the refs stole that from me. So that is why everyone knows, and even on Sunday, it'll continue to be this. Refs are the worst human beings on the planet. There's no filth worse than referees, especially for high school football. It's the smallest amount of power that can ever go into somebody's head is a high school referee. Go fuck yourself, white hat. I hate that guy.
I had a ref tell me one time when I was a manager for the team that he said, are you playing? And I said, no, I'm just a manager for the team. And he goes, what a waste. It was a real thing a ref said to me as I was keeping scorebooks.
We'll see you next week, guys. Goodbye.
Fuck Greg and that ref. I hope it was also Greg.
Probably. He